A year after coronavirus pandemic broke out, India is busy putting in place a system for administering vaccines that will help check the spread. The government has kicked off a 2-day vaccination dry run. The rehearsal of sorts is taking place across 8 districts in Punjab, Assam, Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. The dry run is aimed at testing the readiness of the system. The process includes entering data in CoWIN app, testing receipt and allocation, deployment of team members and mock sessions with test beneficiaries. The dry run will also test the cold storage, transportation arrangements and crowd management at vaccine sites.
Whenever a beneficiary comes, he will be given entry to the vaccination site only by seeing whether he is in the beneficiary list or not. He can show his SMS on the phone. After that, he will be given vaccination and there only he will be entered on this CoWIN app that he has been vaccinated.
Although the emergency application of vaccines has already begun in multiple countries around the world, the Indian government has not yet given the nod to any vaccine candidate. A vaccine rollout, however, is expected to take place in January. But what will worry health authorities is the emergence of 2 different mutants in UK and South Africa that are many times more infectious than the original virus. Bureau Report, India Today.
So while we're expecting a rollout of vaccines in India in the first 2 weeks of January is what we're expecting right now, dry runs were held in 4 states today. It's going to be a course over 2 days that it's going to be run. But there are lots of fears, especially with citizens of the country who are looking at taking the vaccine in light of 2 new strains which have emerged. To dispel and assuage those fears, joining me is Dr. Tanmay Mahapatra. He's a doctor and an epidemiologist. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. Mahapatra. Sir, at this juncture, there's a fair amount of, distrust on these vaccines because some people feel that it might not be effective on those 2 strains which have emerged, one namely in the UK and the other one seeking its origin in South Africa. Would that be in the ambit as well?
So first of all, while talking about this kind of mistrust, somehow rumors spread faster than the truth. We are not yet sure that whether these mutants are yet enough to be called variants at all, new strain at all. Definitely these new variants are having important mutations. Altogether, about 17 mutations have been reported so far as I know. And while having more than 1 mutations working on different kind of important parts of the virus, there may be changes in the infectivity which is actually being right now feared because of some changes, alterations in the spike part of the virus. As well as regarding the as additional to the infectivity, there are also things like some deletion mutation has actually so far evidence to cause lack of identification of this by the antibodies. So there is always a risk for having the vaccine escape mutants. But so far evidences are not enough to actually have this leading up to the level of mistrust. Before that, in this kind of situation, vaccine actually come up as a potential solution for combating the current situation in a much better way. And we should actually more focus on developing the community awareness as well as community acceptance of the virus vaccines. So the process, the preparedness that you were referring to, the dry run and all those stuff are very important steps. And where we have to understand that we have to check our system preparedness for dealing with all these kind of misperceptions and all other kind of situations that may take up because of some kind of side effects happening because of maybe not directly related to the vaccine, but ultimately getting related to the vaccine based on the rumors and can end up in a large amount of lack of vaccine acceptance. So we need to work on.
Right. Doctor, there's a fair amount of anxiety because, of course, there's no green light to a particular vaccine in India. But once the vaccines come in, and let's say there are more than one, there's a lot of anxiety. Which vaccine would be better? One would suggest that they might want to do a Pfizer. The other one might, want to do a Moderna. How would you decide on that? Like, there is a fear amongst people that one could actually be better or more effective than the other, or the other would cause more side effects than the other one.
So while deciding on which vaccine may work better and which vaccine will be better for a person to get vaccinated by, I believe this is not a decision to be taken by laypersons. And that's why together, media, government, bodies like our ICMR need to play roles together to have a comprehensive message percolating into the population to reduce the kind of confusion that may arise from. It's a state decision. It's actually the decision of the government to ensure that which vaccine to be actually prioritized based as opposed to another, based on its infectivity, based on its effectiveness, based on its efficacy, and based on its immunogenicity, and as well as tolerance. So safety, efficacy, immunogenicity, and tolerance together should decide that in a particular population which vaccine to be prioritized as opposed to another. And it is very important for government to have a coordinated, consolidated messaging across the population to ensure that this kind of confusions are taken care of.
Well, let's just hope we have the vaccines come into India very soon. Appreciate you joining us, Doctor, for taking those two quick questions from us. But we're going to stick with the pandemic. The coronavirus has disrupted lives everywhere.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.